Hello and welcome to PLTW. My name is Mr. Mojer. If you didn't do yesterday's PLTW lesson already about inheritance and traits, go back and do that before you do this lesson for today. So let's review what traits are. Traits are qualities or characteristics that you have just because of the way that you were born. It's not something you chose or something that you change. For example, I didn't choose my eye color. I was just born with that color of eyes. We also talked about where traits come from. We get them from our parents. And that is not only true for humans, but for other animals and creatures. For example, dogs will inherit their type of fur, their body shape from their parents. So you might see like a Dalmatian looks very different from, I don't know, some other kind of dog, from like Golden Retriever. The reason that they look different and they have different body structures and types of fur and color of fur and patterning in their fur is because they inherited those characteristics, those traits, those qualities from their parents. So today you'll need paper, pens, pencils, colored pencils, markers. So go ahead and you can pause the video if you need to go and grab those things. So let's learn a little bit more about inheritance. So how a certain trait could be passed from a person to another person. So if we start, well, let's just start this way. So if we've got, let's say here, we've got a dad, and let's say we get, oh man, there's so many colors here. Let's say that's the dad. Oh, that one's too hard to see actually. And let's say we've got a mom. So the dad and the mom, they will each give some genetic information, a gene, to their kid. So let's say that we have now down here, we have their kid. So the mom will give some information to the kid, some genetic information, a gene to the kid. And the dad will also give information to the kid. So the kid will have two pieces of information from their parents. So let's do kind of an example. Let's say that the dad has blue eyes, and let's say that the mom has brown eyes. So what is the kid going to have? Well, it kind of depends. The mom, let's say that the mom had, she had a gene for brown eyes, and each person has two copies because the mom also got a copy from her mom and dad. So every gene has two copies, one from the mom and one from the dad. So let's say that the mom had one for blue eyes and one for brown eyes, and the dad had two copies for blue eyes. So one thing that we need to notice is to actually get the blue eyes, you need to have two copies of blue. But to get brown eyes, you just need to have one copy of brown. Because the brown gene, we could think of it as being stronger. So if you have a little bit of, if you have one brown, your eyes will actually be brown. If you have two blues, then your eyes will actually be blue. So we can draw something called a Punnett Square here, and you'll kind of get the idea. So up here, we can say what the mom gives. So if we kind of look back up, remember the mom had one brown and one blue. So let's get that. So she had a brown. So the mom could give a brown gene to her kid, or she could give a blue. Now, the dad is also going to be able to give something. And what could the dad give? Well, what does he have? He has two blues. So he could give either a blue or a blue. So now let's see what might happen, what the possible outcomes are. Let's say that the dad gives his blue here, and the mom gives her brown. Well, they got a blue from the mom. I'm sorry, a brown from the mom and a blue from the dad. So if this was the genes that the kid got, they would actually have brown eyes. So this would actually lead to brown eyes. Because remember, the brown gene is stronger than the blue gene. So this would lead to brown eyes. So if the mom and the dad have a kid, and the kid has one blue copy of the gene and one brown copy of the gene, it will get brown. Now, what if we look at this second box right here? Well, here, the dad would be giving blue, and the mom would be giving blue. And because it's both blue, that means the kid would actually get blue eyes. Now, there's another possibility here. What if the dad gives his other blue and the mom gives her brown? Now, I want you to think, what would happen in this situation? What color eyes would the kid have? I'll give you a hint. Remember, the brown gene is stronger. So this would actually make the kid have brown eyes. Whoop, I spelled brown wrong. There's an R in there. B-R-O-W-N, brown. So in these two situations, on the two left-hand boxes, the kid would have brown. Now let's do the final square over here. In this situation, the dad would be giving a blue copy, and the mom would be giving her blue copy. And since we have two blue copies, it would turn out as blue. So this mom and dad that we see up here, they could have a kid with blue eyes, or they could have a kid with brown eyes. It depends on the genes that they pass on. And if we look, there are four possibilities. They could have, and now let me get a different color here to make this a little bit easier to spot. So they could have a blue and a brown, which would actually lead to brown eyes because brown is more powerful. They could have a blue and a brown, and again, same thing, that leads to brown eyes because the brown is more powerful down here. If we look at the top right box, if they get two copies of blue, blue is weaker, but they're both blue, that leads to blue. Or in the bottom right, it's the same way. So Now what we're going to do is we're going to go on and we're going to make our own example using aliens. And I'm going to kind of set it up, and then you're going to fill in the squares and decide what kinds of kids that the aliens might have. All right, let me get a color here. So let's say we have an alien with 2 eyes. On their alien head. Let's say that this is the dad. And let's say we have the mom. And the mom just has a single eye. So now let's think about their genes. Let's say that the dad, his genes are, he has a gene for 2 eyes. He has the 2-eye gene. And let's say he has a copy for the 1-eye gene. And the mom, she has a copy for the 2-eye. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The mom just has copies for the 1-eye gene. So what we can see is that this is the stronger gene. If you have a 2-eye gene, you will have 2 eyes. The 1-eye gene is weaker. So if you have both 1-eye genes, then you get 1 eye. So now again, I'm going to make one of those squares. And the mom could give, well, the mom could give a 1-eye gene or a 1-eye gene. That's what she has. So she has the 1-eye gene and the 1-eye gene. Now, let's take a look at what the dad could give. The dad, he actually has some choices. The dad could give the 2-eye gene. Remember, this is the strong gene. Or he also has the 1-eye gene. So what I want you to do now, this is kind of your assignment. On your piece of paper, I want you to decide in box 1, what would that child look like? Would it have 2 eyes or 1 eye? I want you to draw the picture of the child that would be created by this and this. Then same for box 2. Same for box 3. Same for box 4. So go ahead, pause the video. I want you to draw what kind of kids would happen. And after you're finished, come on back and we'll go through the answer together. Okay, hopefully you've gone and finished. Now let's see what kinds of kids could be created. So the dad, let's look at box 1. in box 1, the dad is giving the 2I gene, and the mom is giving the 1I gene. And remember, the 2I gene is strong, so that combination would make a 2-eyed kid. Now, let's look at box 2. Again, in box 2, the dad is going to be giving the gene for 2 eyes, which is stronger, and the mom is going to be giving the 1-eye. And because that 2-eye gene is stronger, we'll have another 2-eyed alien here. Now, let's look at box 3. Well, in box 3, the dad is giving the 1-eye gene, and the mom is giving the 1-eye gene. So this will just have a single eye. And here, the dad is giving the 1-eye gene. The mom is giving 1-eye. So we would again have that single eye. Now, most of the traits that we have are more complicated than this. There are lots and lots of genes that contribute. But this is the basic idea. We get some information, some genes from our mother, we get some genes from our father, and together those create our traits. So because our parents were humans, we get human traits. That's why we have 5 fingers instead of wings. Dogs are dogs because their parents gave them dog traits. So that's why they walk on all 4s and they have a tail and everything else. So there's a lot of really interesting things that you can learn about inheritance and traits. And this is just the beginning. I hope you had fun with today's lesson, and I'll see you later.